there, Griff Hamlin here from Blues Guitar Unleashed. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. Today's video, fairly simple, straightforward, but a very cool concept. And I hope you'll spend a little bit of time with it, because this is really, to me, this is kind of the key to sort of unlocking a lot of this fretboard that we tend to not use so much. And I'll show you what I mean. A lot of times, people learn, good old box one, right? Let's say we're playing the A minor pentatonic scale, right? Or the A minor blues scale, which is basically the same thing, right? Well, notice that when we do that, our anchor, I'll say, our root note, is that first finger on the sixth string. Maybe you've gone so far as to get comfortable playing from the root on the first string. But what if you wanted to play something that goes that way on the neck, or something that is more up in this region? It's not always so trivial to do. If you kind of change things around though, and let's say you start to look at, okay, well I have, A, C, D, E, G, A, C, D, E, G, A, C, right? So those are my notes. Well, if instead of putting my first finger here, if I put my third finger there, and I start to build out those same notes going in that direction. Now, for me, that's my left. So I call this a left-facing idea. And if I start to go through that, A, C, D, E, right, out here, G, A, right? And I could even continue that idea of going to the left. C, D, E. I kind of run out of frets there, but I've kind of gone off in a different direction that for a lot of people would be a real struggle. Same thing from here. Maybe you've learned that you kind of got a box 4, from a fifth string root, but maybe you've never tried, for example, going A, C, D, E, G, A, C, D, right? And ending up, going out in the other direction, left, as I call it, left facing. And it's not that this isn't a box, it still is. This is box 3 into box 2. Going through here, this is box 5 into box 4, right? You're just using other patterns, but you're using them in such a way that it's getting you to kind of expand and move around the fretboard a little bit more. So I thought, well, what if we take a musical idea, right? Instead of just saying, go find notes, that's not as much fun. What if we take a simple blues lick, just a simple idea? And I wanted to originally do a lick that was kind of like, or, which is a really common idea. But I thought, you know what? That's a little bit weird because it doesn't start on the root. So what I'm going to first do is I'm going to turn it around, and we're going to do something like that. That way you can start it from the root. But when you get the hang of this, I'm going to show you that it would be really cool to not start on the root. But if you do start on a root, let's say we start on the 7th fret of the 4th string, and we play A, G, A, C, and then we slide from D to E, and then we grab a G, and then we slide back from the E to the D to C to A to G. Right? Something like that. You could end it on the A. I just added that G at the very end. Right? 2, 3, 4, a 1, a 2, and a 3, 4, 1. So I would start this like on the of 2. I don't want to start on beat 1. I'm sorry, the of 1. So 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and a 3, 4, 1. So I put a little triplet in there to make this work out rhythmically. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. A 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1. Okay, so now I'm kind of moving between two different boxes, which is cool. Maybe you can see that. It's a little bit of box 1 into box 2, and then this note is shared between the two boxes, so however you want to look at it, and back into box 1. If I go to this A down here at the 5th fret of the 6th string, I'm in box 5, sliding into box 1, back into box 5. So it's nice to be able to kind of see that movement. If I did it up here, now I'm in box 3. Again, there's an A at the 12th fret of the 5th string. And I slide up into box 4. Right? If I use this A at the 14th fret of the 3rd string, I'm going to go from box 4 to box 5. And I'm going to get all those notes that way. But in every case, I'm crossing between boxes and I'm kind of looking at things going off to the left. Normally we look at things going to the right. So this might at least start to shift your, open your eyes a little bit to seeing the left side of the fretboard. The left side of the root. It's kind of that nether region out there, that stuff out there to the left side of the root. We don't speak of that. But there's a lot of good music there, so I want you to get comfortable with it. All right. So like I said, this idea starts on the root. 1, 2, and a 3, 4, 1, 2, and a 3, 4, 1. Right. Personally, wouldn't be my first choice. Something like that might be a little bit more fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And so I just took the idea and I kind of changed it around. I started with the top part. So I'm starting with that D to E slide, G, then back, C, A, G, A. Okay, like I said, that's going to be a little bit more of a challenge simply because of the fact that it doesn't start on the root. So you kind of have to see the root and then see the note above it and then play it. But it sounds really cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Right? I could do it down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. If I wanted to do it up here. Right? I have all those different options available to me that will both kind of, expand your vision a little bit. Again, seeing to the left of the root. It's unnerving if you're used to playing in box 1 all the time. Now, if you're already comfortable playing like my 4-note solo pattern, then you're kind of already used to playing to the left of the root because that's the way that box is laid out. But I think many, many, many people are really comfortable in that box 1, seeing to the right of the root. So this will both give you a little bit of a different perception of your fretboard. What I hope you'll do is also, move it around. So choose, the different root notes. Maybe try to figure out, maybe you can play the lick, but you don't really see the box. Okay, well, that would tell you then you maybe need to practice on those boxes in that general area. And then all I did from that point is just, play it into a looper. So this is just a blues in A, right? And I could play it here. I could play it down here. Or I could play it from... right? I got all the choices. And really with just a little bit of messing around, you can take that same idea, you can repeat it, you can use little pieces of it. There's a lot of kind of fun stuff that you can do with that. So I hope you'll just play around with this. This was meant to sort of just, open your eyes a little bit, just give you, I like to try to just give you food for thought a lot of times on these, because truly experimentation and experience is always your best teacher. The more you experience these sounds, the more you can recall them. If you think, oh, I want to hear that sound, and you've played it before, then you can recall it. If you think, oh, I want to hear that, but I've never played that before, then it doesn't work out so well. So experimentation is a big part of learning to improvise. Okay, so hope you enjoyed the lesson. As always, I'm Griff Hamlin from Blues Guitar Unleashed. If you have some friends that you think would dig this video, please feel free to send it to them. If you're watching this on the YouTubes and you feel like subscribing to the channel, I do put out new videos very often. I don't know if I'd say regularly, but very often. We're dangerously close to 100,000 subscribers, which is super exciting and fun. And I hope that you all are enjoying my videos very much. And I will talk to you soon. Take care.